You're seeing this because you have either registered for the National Lefty Open or you're interested in registering for the National Lefty Open. And you're probably wondering, what are the ways to win and what's the format? Well, let's take a look. You've got 2 registrations and 3 ways to win. You can register one for the NALG National Tournament, where you have payouts by division and by flight. Then you've got the Minnesota State Tournament as well, and there we have payouts solely by flight. Let's take a look at a sample scorecard. Here we have 8 players who've registered for the National Lefty Open. They have not only registered for that, 4 of them have registered for the Minnesota State Lefty Open as well. You can see that there. Player 2, player 4, player 6, and player 8 chose not to register for the Minnesota State Lefty Open. They all registered for the NALG Open. We also see the divisions that they have registered for. The Championship, Open, and Senior are the 3 that I've used in the sample. There will be 7 divisions based on age and ability. You can also see what their scores were on Saturday. This is a sample Saturday score. Player 1 shot 80, player 2 shot 82, player 3 shot 78, and so on down the line. So as we look at the National Lefty Open leaderboards, you've got the divisions leaderboard, the flights leaderboard, and then the Minnesota State Left-handers flights leaderboard. When you register for a division in the NALG tournament, you are registering essentially by teeing ground. The championship flight will play the blacks, the open division will play the blues, and so on and so forth down the line. That is why the flights can look a little different than the division leaderboards. Let's look at player 3 at the top of the championship leaderboard there, shot 78 in the lead there in the division. But actually, when we place you in flights, that player's in second place with a 78, because over here, the player 4 who registered for the open division shot 77. Flights are chosen by similar scores. So what you're actually seeing is similar scores regardless of tees. And then when you look over to the right one more, that Minnesota left-handers flights leaderboard, player 4 chose not to register for the Minnesota left-handers tournament. So there's nobody in that leaderboard. Let's take a look at player 7. That is the leader of the senior flight down here, shot 82. That person is in flight 2 while they're handily in the lead in the division, in the NALG division. They're a couple back in their flight, but not out of it. And they also chose to register for the Minnesota left-handers flights, and they are the only player in this sample who registered for that. So your score puts you in 3 different leaderboards in that weekend's tournament. So there's multiple ways to win. Now let's take a look at the side games, where we'll have skins and deuce pot. Each will be paid by division in the NALG event. There will be no skins in the Minnesota State Left-Handers tournament this year. So you can rest easy on Saturday night knowing that even if you didn't play well, you still got a chance to win many different ways. It's going to be a great weekend.